I would
Uh-huh.
be remiss if I didn't ask you, my love, about Coming to America. You weren't in the sequel, but you were definitely in the original. And I had the pleasure of watching the original uh, Saturday. I just caught it on VH1. It just stopped me in my tracks. And I watched because I knew you were going to be on. I mean, how does it feel to know that all these years later, what, 30 years later, people are still obsessed with Coming to America? And have you seen the newest one?
Yes. I mean, look, you never know what something's going to be until you see it, and so I think in the making of it, we're having a good time. Eddie was at the top of his game at that point, so
Mm-hmm.
it was the biggest film and biggest thing I'd ever been a part of at that point. So you're hoping, but you never know. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it comes out, you see it, people start really responding to it. And then before you know it, it's like over the years, people keep responding to it, and I think that's when it sort of crosses into the zeitgeist, and that
Yes.
becomes sort of this, how when we start calling something iconic,
Yes.
and the fact that people still enjoy it, and now obviously several generations later,
Yeah.
there are 12-year-old white kids that are loving it
Mm-hmm.
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously it's gone through several generations in the black community, but it has on its own sort of become transcendent. And you're right on. So to be a part of that is amazing. Um, and I was,
We
when they asked me to, participate in the second one, between doing the show, which is very demanding. And
mm-hmm.
then also they were like, well, we can shoot you on the weekends. Well, on the weekends, I write, I'm writing my third novel. I write a
Right.
series, a crime thriller
Mm-hmm.
series. And the only time based on my schedule that I really had to write was like first thing in the morning on the weekends. And so I wanted to finish this third novel. So I just did not have time to, you know, to be a part of it. And so, so just, you wish them luck and you hope it's the best that it can be,
Yeah.
so,
Well,
you know,
you were missed. You were definitely missed. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I saw it this weekend. Yeah. And, I mean, it's very different than the first one. I
Mm-hmm.
think this. I think doing a sequel is very difficult. I think doing a sequel 30 years later is extremely difficult,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it's sort of like, what are you speaking to? Are you speaking to the old culture, and just basically rehashing old jokes? Are you doing so?
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to see new stuff. Some people want to see old stuff, and it's so far removed. It's one thing to do a sequel 2 years later.
Right.
People are still connected to the same things. You know what I mean? And I
And the
think,
world hasn't changed
so.
as much, right?
Right, right, exactly. And now it definitely has changed. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
So
indeed.
yeah,
Even the
yeah,
way we thought about Africans as African Americans, the way we thought about Africans 30 years ago is vastly different than the way we think about them now.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And
So
and
there's,
and you also have other things to compare it to.
mm-hmm. Black
Realistically, or not,
Panther.
like, Black Panther was definitely a
Mm-hmm.
fantasy movie in the sense of, it's based on a comic, but the point was we saw a level of sophistication and
Mm-hmm.
intelligence and
Yes.
technology and all of these things, and wardrobe
Yeah.
and just, amazing stuff. And so that now becomes a part of things as well, because you keep adding to the perspective. And so I think all of those things make it, and then here's the difficult thing. I was like, how do you keep certain things relevant? If you're going to
Mm-hmm.
reinvent something, how do you make it relevant 30 years later?
Yeah.
That's a difficult task, a very
Yeah.
difficult task.
Yeah.
You know.